Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and we're doing it like we're doing it old school today. I'm doing my third video for today because of the XRP Las Vegas event and all the different things I wanted to cover and try to get caught up. We're doing three, so why not? And as long as we're doing it old school, I had a lot of requests for people to talk about, to give them official titles, and Daniel reached out to me, and his son already had a title, which I remember giving back in the day, and he reached out and asked if I could remind his son Brogan. His Brogan is I gotta pull up. Hold on a second. I gotta make sure I can do this right. He is the official redheaded kid of the Digital Asset Investor channel. Now that one right there, not just anybody can have that one now. But anyway, shout out to Brogan. Now, moving along, something I wanted to make sure I covered is that at the XRP Las Vegas event, Brad Combs had a lot of different sponsors, some of which are mine. He had Uphold there, he had Corium there. Link2, of course, is one of my sponsors. iTrustCapital is one of my sponsors. He had Sologenic there. Glint's one of my sponsors. The Glint guys were there. I actually had dinner with the CEO of Glint, the Casino Coin guys, the X-Punks guys. He's blocking out those. The Merlin guys, the on XRP guys. ProCoin News Daily. ProCoin News, as you know, is the official sponsor of the Digital Asset Investor Hunting and Fishing Club. Then you have X Spectre, and there's a couple here. Let me see the ones that he was standing in front of. By the way, that's the CEO of Uphold Enterprise, and I can't remember her title, but her name is Nancy Beaton, not Deaton, but Beaton, I believe. And she's one of the executives at Uphold as well. But if you look here, Flare Naming Service. Now, Flare Naming Service, they went live, by the way, while we were at the conference. I'll put a link in the top of the description so that you can go check them out to get a .flr domain if you want one. And then who else? Reaper Financial was there. Spin the Bits. I met Jay. Liquid Acre was there, and Clinton Donnelly Crypto Tax Audit. He also is a sponsor of this show, and so shout out to him. I talked to him. In fact, I'm going to do a call with him because we had he's got some updates. So we'll and of course you'll hear about those. All right, and then this was the Link2 guys with Brad Garlinghouse, and hold on, I'm getting a call, but I'm gonna let me send a message real quick right here. I have to do this sometimes. Doing video, will call in a minute. Actually, it won't be a minute. It'll be more like, I don't know, 10 minutes. But anyway, these are the Link2 guys. By the way, this is Will from Link2. That is one big dude. He used to be a bare knuckles fighter, and I think he was a college level football player too. Of course, Joe Mendoza, and I had dinner with this guy. I didn't get to talk to him much. I think his name's Spencer, and then that's of course is Ray Fuentes over there. Link2 is private equity, folks. If you're accredited, and the link to them will be in the top of the description of this too. You need to go check that out. Rob Cunningham, who's one of my friends, I had dinner with him too, and he was sending out this about his gratitude, and he had a really cool collage here. There's John Deaton and him. This is a great thing somebody did. They've got Brad Garlinghouse, they've got Donald Dean, William Duvall, the rock star, the real rock star, just kind of leaning against the wall, observing. There's the cool guy leaning in, Brad Combs, and cool guys is Gary. And then there's Zach Rector. Let's see if I can name everybody. I can't. Here's Jason Cousins, the CEO of Glint. There's me and Rob and John Deaton, And then there's Coach JV, and he is a muscular guy. I talked to him backstage. There's Molly Elmore with him. There's Jimmy Valley, and this is Andrew, who's one of the guys from Glint. And then, of course, I don't even have to tell you who this guy is. This guy, A Star is Born this weekend, folks. Let's go ahead. I want you to go ahead and write it down. I'll bet you that guy is pretty involved in the next XRP Las Vegas or wherever they do it. Now, and this was actually him videoing, and this is something I did not show in the last video. When you entered this, I just wanted to show you how surreal and how good a job Brad Combs did. When you entered the conference room on the day of XRP Las Vegas, it was literally like a freaking concert. Brad Combs had told me it was going to be like that, and I was more like, okay, Brad, don't mess this up. So watch this.
Wow.
Wow is right. I walked in that room and I could not believe it. In fact, the whole weekend. Now, I wanted to show you there was another angle. This is Rob Cunningham putting this out. There was another angle. This is my dad standing right here. Dad was blown away by the whole thing. Not really dad. The official father is the correct term there. And this is that same moment from a different angle, which was one of the better moments of the whole weekend.
Look, I've said to a bunch of you as I have met a number of you tonight, I'm here to thank you. And I appreciate you're thanking me, but I'm here to thank you for all that you have done to support this effort. Truly, it does take an army. And this army has been incredible. And we're going to win this thing.
What a classic moment. Now, Brad Garlinghouse, it went straight from there to Dubai. He's at the Dubai FinTech Summit, which, you know, to me, this really puts in perspective how big the XRP army is, for one thing, but it also puts in perspective what a great guy that Brad, and down-to-earth guy that Brad Garlinghouse is. This guy, I mean, what I told my dad, what I tell all my friends, you know, this guy could be the biggest snob in the world if he wanted to be. And he comes to the XRP Las Vegas conference and literally rearranges his schedule and then goes straight to Dubai. I mean, that's what I call a stand-up guy. Now, you can see some of the people there. Brian Armstrong from Coinbase is there. There's Brad Garlinghouse. Let me see if there's, I'll tell you, there's one more that you got to see that I know is on here. Well, this one's interesting. Umar Farouk, CEO of Onyx by JP Morgan. That's interesting. And then as you go down here, you get who I wanted to show you, which is, I think he's on this first page. Don't worry, we got all the time in the world, folks. And then we finally get down here. Is he at the bottom? He's one of my favorite people that was with Ripple. I don't know if he's still with them or not. There he is. Naveen Gupta, the man. He's the one that said we're either going to put a dent in the universe or go away. And guess what they have not done? That's right. They have not gone away. Here's Brad Garlinghouse there. The power of X. Looks like Doug Brooks knows, and he follows me. And now I follow him. Doug Brooks is he's with XDC, I guess. So the power of X. I like it. XDC, that's a good one too. Here's Brad Garlinghouse at Dubai FinTech. This is an awesome clip.
So what's your message to the SEC chair as you sit here in the UAE and in Dubai announcing an expansion of your business to this region, given the state of regulation in the United States right now?
Who? No, I'm kidding. All right, so look,
we were talking about this a little bit earlier. I find it as a company that started in the United States, and as someone who's a U.S. citizen, it's sad. Like, I have sadness about this. The U.S. is getting passed not just a little bit, but by a lot. And but the tough thing about this is you have a country that I think has put politics ahead of policy, and that's not a good decision if you're trying to invest in the economy. You're seeing, certainly here in the UAE with VARA, the Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority, certainly what's happened recently in Europe with MiCA. The United States is definitely stuck. And Ripple, the case with the SEC, we will spend, the first time I've shared this publicly, by the time it's said and done, we will have spent $200 million defending ourselves against a lawsuit, which from its very beginning, people were like, this doesn't make a lot of sense. You have video footage of the chair of the SEC as a professor at MIT saying 75% of these digital assets are commodities. And now he says they're all securities because he's the head of the SEC and he's seeking power, and he's putting power ahead of sound policy to grow an economy in the United States. Blockchain technologies are being invested in and pursued in the entrepreneurship outside the United States. And one of the first pieces of advice I give entrepreneurs when they come and ask me, hey, I'm getting something started, I'll say, if I were you, I would not start in the United States. And I think there's a lot of US-based companies and even US public companies that would agree with that.
All right, what a great clip. And then there's Naveen Gupta. I'm hoping we can find a clip of him speaking as well. Here's a little bit from Brian Armstrong.
Let's talk about the most recent announcement.
He's at the conference too.
You're expanding internationally as tensions with the US regulators grow. Coinbase has just announced an international crypto derivatives exchange. Walk me through the strategic rationale. How is this going to work?
Yeah, so again, the mission at Coinbase is to increase economic freedom in the world. We think crypto is the most important technology to do that. And so that means we need to be doing that globally. Everybody in the world can benefit from this technology. And so although we started in the US, we're now live in a number of different markets around the world. And so there's been a big focus for us on international expansion in the Western Hemisphere. We've done that, of course, in the US. We've done it with a license that we've gotten in Bermuda to serve other regions there. But in this region of the world where I am here today in Dubai, we feel that the UAE is a really important hub that we can invest in to serve this region of the world, the Middle East, Africa, even India, where there's a major remittance corridor. And so I think the UAE deserves a lot of credit for their commitment to crypto regulation. They're putting out a clear rule book. They even have a dedicated regulator that's specific to crypto called DVARA here in Dubai. And I think they deserve a ton of credit for being both.
So everybody's leaving the United States over one little wormy man's ambitions. That's pretty sad. Brad Garlinghouse is right. Then Eleanor Terrett has a scoop. Preliminary witness list for next Wednesday's joint House Finance Committee. I think this is this Wednesday. The one guy that jumped out at me was this guy Dan Berkowitz, because he's the guy that resigned from the SEC because in his previous role he reportedly dined with disgraced former FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried. I've always thought that Gary Gensler made Dan Berkowitz take the fall so that Gary could act like he was hands off. That's what it felt like to me. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family that we went old school and did a third video today.